Okay. Thank y'all for coming to our presentation today of our first grade literacy. First thing we're going to start with is we're going to go over our last data meeting that we had. I kind of combined our information to come up with a solution. In-service presentation, our data meeting results. 67% of first graders are reading on or above grade level, so that's good. Most students are able to answer beyond the text questions, and most students can identify main idea and supporting details. And that's coming from our fast bridge unit assessments and reading levels. Now, 33% of first graders are reading below grade level. That's a little high, but it's better than it was when we started first grade, because it was at 42, I believe. So 93% cannot distinguish between long and short vowel sounds. So we know they don't know their vowels. 75% of students cannot segment words into individual phonemes. That's like the assessment on fast bridge, at. They cannot do that. And 51% of students cannot isolate and pronounce initial, medial, and final sounds in words, which means they do not know how to solve those words, which I think we've talked about that a lot. And that has come up in many, many discussions. And here's broke down to each standard that was not mastered. This is the vowel standard, segmenting single syllable words, isolating and pronouncing the individual sounds, beginning, middle, and end. Now here is our fast bridge data from December. And looking at our fast bridge data, it also said we need to work on phonemic awareness. And that's what popped up on a lot of the kids when we took that test. And so I pulled a lot of the plans from Fast Bridge that you'll find in your notebook. Ms. Tompkins, it's in the hallway.
Notebooks in the hallway.
Yeah. Yes. I did that first. Right outside the door. Okay, so I pulled a lot of the plans from here that you'll see in your notebook that we're going to be using to. There it is. All right, so what does this data tell us about first grade literacy? The one on top is mine, so it's not real. I've used reading levels, unit assessments, and Fast Bridge. First grade students are able to use meaning from the story to think about the text and answer questions pertaining to the text and about the text. So they're able to use meaning to read those words. Most first grade students are struggling with strategies to solve unknown words using beginning, middle, ending sounds, and also differentiating between long and short vowel sounds. So, according to this information, our area of most need in first grade literacy is phonological awareness. And this is our phonological awareness sequencing. We have the word level, syllable level, onset and rhyme, and phonemic awareness level. Now, to assess where they were in our phonemic awareness, I looked at our sequencing. Rhyming and alliteration is usually taught in kindergarten. Sentence segmentation is also at the end of kindergarten, beginning of first grade, and syllable segmenting and blending are all some of those kindergarten, beginning first grade skills. And then we go into onset, rhyme, and phoneme matching isolation. So to assess some of the students, I use the phonological and phonemic awareness assessment. And I pulled a sample of students from level B to level J. And I gave each one of them the assessment. I did level Bs, some were repeaters, some were not. I did some level Ds, again, some were repeating and some were not. I did H, and then again J. So all of the students, not just the low, this was all across the board, were found to be low to emerging in the range skill level. And here's the levels across the bottom. It's low, emerging, and mastery. So we had nobody in the mastery range, even in the above grade level. Nobody had mastery in their phonemic awareness. So most students were proficient at the word level and the syllable level, which is good. They can identify and isolate words, and they can identify and isolate the syllables in words. Now, this analysis led me to believe or determine word decoding is a skill that needs developing following the sequence in phonological awareness. So again, that puts us back here. So we've got the word level, we can rhyme for the most part. And there were a few students that still had some of those skills they needed to work on, but for the most part, word level was sufficient and syllable level. So that puts us at the onset and rhyme level.
Good morning.
We're having professional development in here.
I'm so sorry.
So, now I do have a copy of this in your notebook. If you have a child that you are wondering what is going on, this is a very good tool to use. I know I've used it on some of the kids that I'm working on, and I'm going, oh my gosh, he can do this. Okay, so there's something else going on. Or no wonder he can't articulate a word because he can't hear the syllables in the word. So it is a very good tool to use to help you assess where they are and what they're working with. So I gave you a copy of that in your notebook. Now, reading is defined as a cognitive process that involves decoding symbols to understand the meaning of the words that they are reading. Decoding is a key skill in learning to read that involves taking apart the sounds in words, which is the segmenting, and blending those sounds together to make the word. Now, I know I've seen some students that get the segmenting part, but they can't put it back together yet. That means they're in the process. That's a good thing. Just keep following up and they'll eventually get it. But at least they've started the process of hearing those sounds. Now, in simple terms, decoding is the translating of words in print to speech. Being able to look at the print on the page and know what it means. Decoding is the skill that needs to be taught in the sequence of phonological awareness after the word level and the syllable level. 3 strategies of decoding that we will be reviewing today are sound boxes, onset rhyme, and word sort. You'll have all these copies in your notebook. Now, we're going to start with the sound boxes. There's a lot of research that goes behind the sound boxes and their effectiveness in learning phonological awareness. And these are some of this, if you'll notice, reading recovery was one of those that started the sound boxes. Right, this was. And here are some cow now, brown cow activities that you can look at if you have time. All right, L-Conan boxes. Sound boxes. You all have these in front of you on your mat. And I gave you lots of samples in your notebook of different kinds and kind of different levels that you could use. L-Conan boxes are a research-based instructional strategy to build and strengthen phonological awareness. Students segment words into individual phonemes. And here's a step-by-step process. If you've never been fluent in using sound boxes, you're going to pronounce the word slowly. Cat. Then you're going to get them to do it. And it takes several times because they want to say cat. Just slow it down. I tell them it's kind of like stretching out a piece of gum. Really, really slow. They repeat it until they can get it slowly. And you can draw boxes or you can use the boxes I gave you. That is entirely up to you. Have the child count the phonemes. Cat. Okay, now I've got a sample right here. We're going to do some sound boxes. You got some counters. Now, you don't always have to use a counter with your kids. They can use their finger to push in the box, but this is, when you first start, this is a lot easier to get them to slowly get those sounds in that box. Oh my gosh.
L-Conan boxes. Video 1. How it works. Listen to the word on each slide. Then help me say each sound in the word. Watch as I move my counters for each sound in the word. You can follow along at home. If you don't have counters, you can use 3 small blocks or Legos. You can draw 3 boxes on a paper. Let's begin. Sun. Say the word sun. Now let's say each sound. S, n.
So they
Let's
can hear
move our
each
counters. S, n. Sun.
Now, I
The
would
next
even
word is
use
bee.
your fingers to let them
Say
feel
the
those
word
sounds.
bee. Now let's say each sound. B, E. Let's move our counters. E, B.
Even though that has 3 letters, it only had 2 sounds.
Chick. Say the word chick. Let's say each sound. Ch, I.
That helps me in
Let's move our counters. Ch, I, chick.
Put it back together. Are there several more on there? Oops.
The next word is cat. Say the word.
And that is reference right there. You can find it on YouTube. It's really easy. It'd be something good you could use in your classroom to show them. And putting it back together. That's really important. When they break it apart, put it back together to hear the whole word. Now, this is a good example right here. I put that one on there because it's got a sh at the beginning. Sh, e. Sometimes they want to. That gives them a visual and say, okay, that's one sound that goes in one box. So that was a good visual to help with those. Any questions about the sound boxes? Good. All right, now to take the sound boxes a little bit further, extending, you can pair it with print by still doing the same first 5 steps, saying it slowly, and slide the finger, and then have them write the letter for each spoken sound in that word. That will help with spelling and remembering how those words look. And silent letters can go in the last box because it doesn't make a sound. I'll show you this one.
Hey, Smith. It's share slideshow, that might help you. The
Oh,
slideshow.
at the top?
Hit the slideshow button and share it.
No,
Okay, that helps a lot.
Hello, this video is about sound boxes. I use sound boxes to help students understand what letters represent sounds in a word, and to also make sure that they are including all of the sounds heard when they spell a word.
This is good for
So
spelling.
for example,
To see
if the word
those
was chimp, they would use their sound chips and say ch, it, And I like to use the double layered sound boxes because the top layer is for the sound chips and the bottom layer is for representing the letters. So the first sound is ch, which is made by a CH. Because those 2 letters
It goes
make
in
the
that
one
one
sound,
box.
they go
A lot of them still want to separate that.
It, and and that's the end of chimp. For the next word, fish, so we say erase and replace. Fish, we segment the sounds, I, sh, and now we write the letters that represent each sound. I, sh. And because the SH are two letters but one sound, they go in the same box. The same thing is
So that
true
would
when
also
we
help
have
with
two
your spelling
vowels.
this week. With the R. Because they're not, I feel like some of them aren't understanding that those two letters made one sound, because yesterday I was looking at ER with several students and they said, Evra, say that with me. So they're still looking at each letter instead of the combination of the letters. Okay.
Double tapestry.
Hello. This video
I'm trying to close it. What am I doing wrong? Will it let you like
Slide it all the way to
No.
Will it like give you the suggestion?
Hello. This video
Oh.
is about sound boxes. They're sound.
Okay, thank you.
I told you
Love technology. Okay. Any questions about how to use the sound boxes to add the print to?
Like, why didn't that word stop or the SMT separated?
That was my question.
Because it's two letters, it makes two individual sounds that you put together. St. You can hear both the sounds. For instance, shh, you don't hear the s. Huh. Now, as you get on further, if you're trying to teach that and you want them to put it together, I know a lot of times I put it together. Those two letters go together. But I would save that for when you were teaching that individual part. But at the beginning, you want them to go s. And then you can say, okay, we can put that together to make st. Anything? Good? Okay.
On the side, at the bottom, right here. The bottom left. Tap it.
Right here?
Not there, in the inside the frame.
In the black.
Right there, now here there.
Gotcha. Oh my.
Hello. This video is about
Yes.
sound boxes.
Hit the arrow.
The technology is not my friend today. All right, now, I also found some games and videos that you can let your students use to help them learn this task. Now, these are good videos by the Reading Machine. I really like these. Maybe I can get it back.
Welcome to the Reading Machine. Let's go.
Shows them how to do this.
B. A.
It's not something they can interact with, but it's something, a good tutorial for them to watch with the individual sounds.
A. D. Sad.
But this website has a lot of those videos. All right, now this is an interactive game that they can have interaction with. And it is Roy the Zebra. There's the site. And this is what I just kind of screenshot the screen and what it looks like. You'll be taking the boxes to add to make the word. Oh, let's see if I can go there. Find the right thing. And this will be one of the good centers. Once you introduce it and learn how to do it, I would put it in a center. I mean, there's all kinds of games on there. use boxes. From whatever principle you choose from the home dictionary. And it's a free website. Yeah, it should be on that front page, or those links. But it's also on this PowerPoint. I can send it to y'all so you have it. But it is a good interactive website. There we go. So we've got the videos that you can use as a tutorial. You've got the game as an interactive. And you all have your copies of the sound boxes. Now, I gave you different choices in sound boxes. I like this one to help reinforce that left to right. So a lot of them still have that confusion in first grade. They're looking at the end, in the middle, just anywhere. But having the little lights on there, I like that. It showed them where to go and where to stop. And you have different choices I put in the back. This is, for longer words, and then you've got the lines so that they can start adding the print. So you got lots of choices you can choose from. And you all have copies in your notebook. Any questions about sound boxes before we move on? Good? All right, now we're going to move on to blending and segmenting sounds using onset rhyme. Research indicates that onset rhyme is an important component of phonological awareness. And onset is the consonant or consonant blend at the beginning of a word. And the rhyme begins with the vowel and the letters that follow. Like shirt would be sh-ert. All right, now here's just a few examples to show you what onset rhyme looks like real quick. And you notice that says kindergarten. So this is a skill that can start in
Students
kindergarten.
know how to break words into syllables. They are ready to recognize even smaller units of sound within a syllable, called onset rhymes. An onset is the initial consonant blend or digraph in a syllable, the b in bat, for example. The rhyme is the vowel and remaining phonemes in that syllable, the at in bat. Recognizing and manipulating onsets and rhymes is considered a precursor skill to phonemic awareness and letter sounds. In this type of lesson, the teacher explains, I'm going to say two parts of a word. Listen carefully. What word do you get when you put these two parts together? Ale.
And I like the way they cut these
Nail.
pictures apart, to show the beginning, the onset and the rhyme.
And fan. Ache. Snake.
And then they put it together.
Are. Car.
And now this is also on YouTube. It's a good tutorial again for the kids to see it done first.
Let's play an onset and rhyme game.
Right.
I'm gonna say a word.
Now you also have this in your bag. It's another option for you to use with your kids. The onset and rhyme, for them to physically move those parts. Something easy.
Word. You're going to break that word into two parts. For example, if I say the word sheep, you're going to break that word apart and tell me the beginning sound of the word and then the rest of the word. I say sheep, and you say eat. Let's try.
And that gives them the visual. A lot of our kids is so abstract, they don't understand it. When you start giving it a visual to get their hand movements involved, it helps connect it to the brain.
I know she's using her finger,
Yes.
but at first, would you maybe use like some magnetic letters on top of this, or
No, this
No.
is for sounds.
only for sounds?
Yes.
So just listening.
Yes. Because when they're reading, yes, there's letters there,
Mhm.
but you want them to start hearing the sounds first before they add in the letters.
Try that again.
Because we want them listening to the sounds.
I say sheep. You break the word and say eat. Are you ready to play? Say the word hook.
And I would always put it back together.
Hook. Now break it. Hook. Now you do it.
Yeah, I would always put it back together.
Hook. Hook.
Again, that's a tutorial for the kids. So that they can get the practice and see it and learn how to do it. Because when we're reading, we say, get your mouth ready. They may not be understanding even that.
Mhm.
So the onset and rhyme helps them see, okay, the beginning, get your mouth ready, shh, eat. Hopefully. It'll start clicking with some of them. If they see it, they do it, and then they can practice it. Any questions about either one of those? There we go. Now, I do have examples with some videos for onset rhyme. This is the reading machine again, that you can find on YouTube. That's a good tutorial. And this was a good tutorial. I like the way they put that together. And this is a game that they can watch first. So I'll show you these.
Are you ready? Here we go. At, at, cat. Is that a word? Yes. Cat. Are you ready? Here we go. At, at, bat. Is that a word? Yes.
Also reinforcing words.
Bat. Are you ready? Here we go.
And so that's another reading machine on YouTube. I like that one. Now this one is good too. Games for kids on YouTube.
Dot.
It's a game, but it's not interactive. They're watching the game and listening to the sounds.
Bed. Box. Bug. Ox.
And there's several different options when you go there that you can choose.
Ass.
And then this one. I
First
wanted to
step,
add this one just
reading.com.
because I like the way they put the sounds
Teach your
together.
child to read with our free
Slowly
video
pulling
lessons.
it together.
Over 50 free video lessons are available at firststepreading.com.
They got
Just
lots
click
of
on the
videos
free
available.
video lessons link. Select your reading level and a list of videos will appear. Select a video and start teaching your child to read. Firststepreading.com. Teach your child to read with our free video lessons.
Hi, I am Pat. I need help making words. Can you help me? Great. Cat. At. Cat. At. Cat. At. Cat. At. Cat. At. Cat. Cat.
And they do that with each one of the words.
Super.
That would be a more of a beginning skill for the lower ones, but it helps them really identify that onset and rhyme and keep going until they put it back together. So that's why I wanted to show you that one. I thought that was good in the way they illustrated that one.
FirstStepReading.com. Teach your child to read with our free video lessons.
Are you
Over
ready?
50 free video lessons are available at FirstStepReading.com.
This one. Find it. Okay, and here is an online game to help practice beginning sounds at ictgames.com. Now, this is a snapshot looking for the beginning sound. And you can pick what sound you want to work on. And these are games. Let's say we did SH, which is
Your new sound is.
this is a much more basic game. They're just looking for the initial sound.
Your new sound is.
That would be some good for your ESOL kids learning sounds at the beginning. It's real basic, and you can add to it and pick different skills to be
It
looking
had,
for.
Sound is.
it had, our controlled Bibles on at the bottom. So we could use that this week.
Yes.
At the bottom of the
Your
game
new
screen,
sound
hit the back
is.
button. Yeah.
Okay.
See at the bottom? IRURER.
Oh, there we go.
Can you click multiples? Like it would do all three at
Oh, yeah.
once?
Where's,
Yeah, choose three.
I want to see A.
That was
Oh, all right.
We hadn't done that yet.
Your new sound is.
Oh.
So they're just looking for the sound.
Your new sound is.
But also making the connection between like what that sound looks like too. That's
Yeah, because
IRER
you-
sound the same.
Mhm. So I have to click. Okay.
Because it doesn't look right.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still listening to the sound. And this ICT Games has got lots of options to choose from.
Your new sound is.
So yeah, they can hear the sound and see the letters that make that sound. That's good practice. Okay, and you don't have to create an account for that. It's another free game. You just have to put a link to it on their Chromebook or Google Classroom.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good practice for them, whether they're, lower or higher. All right, Splash Learn. So this is a game we're going to go in. I'll ask you now to go in and create your account. And you're going to go ahead and add your classroom. Because Splash Learn is also a free website, but it has everything you can imagine that would help with phonological awareness. Let's see. And this would be also good for them to go in and practice, either from Google Classroom or as an icon for centers. Okay. And we'll probably get in for me.
Can they also use this at home?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Because one of the questions is where will your students be
Yes.
using Splash Learn, and you can choose home,
Can they use this
Classroom,
at
or both.
I thought they could, yeah.
You just have to send the invite. And then you'll be able to get to it.
Goodness gracious. All right, so I had this in my classroom last year. And so I'm just gonna use one of my students from last year and show you what it looks like for them. Because you can assign stuff that you want the kids to do. Say this is from your teacher, and these are just other skills that's on there. So I did have some assigned. And it went up, but beginning sounds.
The beginning sound is the first sound we hear in a word. Poke robocode to find the beginning sound.
Hey, would you recommend, like, do you think it's best to do
The
import from
beginning
Google Classroom
sound is cool.
or import from Clever? I know
I
it'd be
think
Google
I
Classroom, but
imported from Google
Robocode
Classroom.
to
I just
find
didn't
the
know.
beginning sound.
Okay, I'll just do it that way.
Watch.
And
The
he breaks it
beginning
apart.
sound is cool. Poke robocode to find the beginning sound. Slam. The beginning sound is so.
And that's just for the beginning sound. You can
Poke
assign different
robocode to find the beginning sound.
games. That was the beginning sound. Say many words.
There's read words with ARER, like all those.
I mean, there's a ton of options that you can explore and assign to each to your students.
Robocode can also split the word bubbles. Poke robocode to find the letter sounds. Grab. The sounds are grr, at,
And that goes to the entire word.
poke robocode to find the letter sounds.
They even have rearranged the sounds for your higher level kids. Segmenting the words, rearranging the letters to make a new word.
Put the bubbles in the correct slot to make tank.
That would be good for your spelling pencils too. She said tank. And I guess the finger helps to make sure they get it in the right order.
Tank.
And then, let's see, I know we had some. guess the word.
Find the bubble with the word plum.
I know.
And then for even that, keep going up in level, they have to find the correct word. So they've got to be able to read those parts to do that.
Plum.
Everybody get it?
Mm-hmm. I was listening to a sign.
Find the
What she
bubble
said
with
that they have
cloud.
our control vowels for this week.
Yes.
I gotta figure out how the dashboard works.
Oh, yes.
Assign a
They have
topic.
good worksheets
Let me see.
too.
We can do math too.
Oh, I'm in kids
Yeah.
zone.
And
Yes.
there's like for morning work, there's really cute worksheets.
This is all math. Okay. Let's see. How do we
Future
get to
dashboard.
ELA?
There it is.
Where are you looking?
And you come over here to the side.
On the left side, there's a math section and an ELA
Mhm.
section.
We have math, and then you scroll down to English.
Hmm.
You just get the
I
little
don't know how I got to.
new assignment, and then you scroll through and choose the ones you want to assign.
It just took me there.
Yeah. Go down.
Ours ain't touch. Oh. I know, I did that too.
Getting that.
English.
Yeah,
There's some curriculum.
Yeah, the little, there you go. And then complete your assignment. And then they'll pop up over here and you scroll down and choose the ones that you want to assign to your students.
Mhm.
I mean, it's got CKNG, there's the AR, ERI, OR, rhyming words. Look here, long vowel A. We got to get on those vowel sounds.
Yeah.
They definitely do not understand vowel sounds. And this would have been handy, when we had our spelling principle AI and AY. And this is something that you can send to parents and say, this is a good way for you to practice at home. I know they're always asking for additional practice.
So once you assign it, does it show it somewhere different? Does it
You
have
can go to,
Because now I can't remember what I clicked to assign.
oh,
Does it like put it somewhere?
it looks like this.
Once you've assigned it?
You see that? Once you assign it, it looks different. The assign button goes
So
away.
when I clicked on assign the words with UR, it gives me all these other options. See?
Those are levels that they have to complete to be able to the guess the word is the end part. Like
They
those
go
are,
through the steps,
Yeah.
like the beginning.
it's like levels in a game. Like that
Oh.
once they complete one part, they
So
can
there's
move on.
lots of it's not just a quick 3 minute.
It's not,
thing.
yeah,
No,
not
it
just
gets
one.
harder as they go.
It's progressive.
Yes.
It's really good practice. In the classroom and at home. Or on the phone. Now that they're getting on their phones so much.
Mhm.
And, math is on there too. And we'll just have to print off an icon so they'll know what it looks like. And
made the little.
that is not in their class link, correct?
It is not, but
I don't
I
think so.
went on their computers and created
Oh,
a little thing on their Google so they could just. it was
Oh,
right
okay,
there.
okay, great, thank you.
I mean, I hadn't done it for yours. That's what I did when your kid
Yes,
last year,
last
used it or whatever. But we could just go in there and quickly.
Yeah, you
do
just
like
go
a
in,
short
how to
cut.
do Starfall?
Yeah.
Go in when they go to, I call it the color wheel, so then, go to the color wheel. And then I usually save it as a favorite, and it's usually down there at the bottom. You just have to teach them what it looks like. I think they'll like that. It's interactive, they can play it, they're learning, they might not know. Did you get it, Miss Wales?
Okay, so they're not there.
You have to come back, yeah. I keep touching.
It's a habit.
I'm always on the kids doing theirs. All right, slow down.
make something new or if you want to
I mean, it's really good practice for your class. Really good practice. Even the ICT game with just the beginning sounds, Miss Wells, would be great.
Yes.
Pablo would even probably like that. Who can pop it?
Popping.
Pop it. Yeah, he would love that. That might keep his interest for about 10 minutes. So.
You have to get like
All right, everybody got their stuff logged in. We're gonna move on before we get to our last part. I know I've given y'all a lot, but all this information, I got the links, the games, all in the notebook, and I'll share this with you so you'll have just a quick. All right, so that's Splash Learn. Like I said, I used that last year, and they liked it, even the low ones. So low kids can use it, and when you assign, like you saw, it's progressive, so it's even great for the high kids.
There are logins on picture,
Yes.
like it assigns them a picture.
I might share it with parents.
It might be down at the bottom, the Chrome
And right
icon,
there.
it might be the other tab.
So now on my Google Classroom,
Yep, the other one.
Okay.
And then you
Oh,
can
hold
make
on.
it
I
big.
gotta close this
how do
box.
they? I tell them where to go for their assignments.
Ma'am,
Like, how do I show them where to go?
when it opens up in the kid experience, let me show you.
So I need to put.
It should be at the top right here from your teacher. And when they click here, they have 9 assignments, they click there.
Okay. So they've got to go to Splash Learn.
Yes.
She was trying to Google Classroom. We can look at that.
Oh, how to get to Splash Learn?
In Google Classroom.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, we can.
We
Yeah.
can look at that one.
that part.
I was just curious how to show them the easiest way to
Only
get to it.
password and then picture password. And then scroll down.
Because I don't really give them like
Student roster.
assignments. Really.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't
kind of
either.
new.
So,
Yeah.
like right here.
But I know she's got-
Password.
She knows how to go in and put it on the Google Classroom.
That's what I was curious about.
Yeah, I know she knows how to do that.
Like, you pick which picture.
Yes.
And then they
But I can do it the other way. where you
Welcome to
just easy.
Splash Learn.
click.
They have more than that now.
Yeah.
The butterfly.
All right. Hopefully you'll be able to use that. I know it's got some good practice on there, especially for all those spelling principles we've been teaching. All right, now this is also another website where you can create your own game. Now, I thought this would be good to show you because you can do anything with it. You go in and you make whatever you want it to be. So it's a website where you can go in and actually create what you want the game to have, like our control vowels or anything else, and you can create your own game. Science, anything. Now they have some that's already created, but if you don't find one that you like, you can create your own with a new topic. So that was also a good website. If you didn't find what you were looking for, you can create your own. All right, word sorts. This is our last one. It's a flexible, efficient, research-based strategy for teaching students to recognize those letter patterns within the word. Now, if they've been playing the games and they're recognizing the parts, now we're going to go to recognize it within the word. Students use higher order thinking skills to compare, contrast, and classify the words by their letter feature patterns. Now, this is a good one. She shows you
Everyone,
how
in
to do
today's
it.
video, we are going to talk about word sorts. Just dive in.
There you go.
Now, using word sorts in your classroom is a great activity because it gets students to really study the words and decode the words in front of them to kind of see what the similarities and differences are amongst these different words, right? So typically you would choose a skill that students are working on or reviewing, and students would have to read the words and sort them into categories. And these categories can be based on many different things. For example, you might be working on short A CBC words, and you might have words like pan and man and cat, and students would have to sort them by that ending pattern, that at or that and. Now, tip or idea number 1 I have for you is to use an open sort. Now, this is something I always do with my students, and an open sort simply means that you don't tell them what categories they need to sort
And we
into.
usually always
So
give them
students have to
categories.
look at the words themselves and figure
I know I
out
do.
which categories these should belong in. This really has students stretch their knowledge of the words they're looking at, and often they have to actually decode them, listen to them out loud, and figure out, wait a second, these words, they all end in A-N, and these words all end in A-T, at, and an.
But
I think these are
that
the
would
two
be
different
good
categories.
for like,
Now, I will
you know,
say
your
in
higher
kindergarten
kids
and
that
first
can
grade, I
read the
almost
words on
always
their own.
stick to two
Okay,
main
how are these
categories
words
they are
similar?
sorting into.
See if they can
And
identify.
as students get older, they can have 3 categories, 4 categories. It's really, limitless as the students get much older, and they might even find different ways to sort the same set of words. When doing this with my younger students, especially at this time of the year, in the fall, I absolutely have them decode the word, say it aloud, and really try to figure out what 2 categories they can make with their words. Now, also, this is an activity I would do in a small group setting pretty often, so I would really like to have my students decode that word. I can listen to them, and I can ask them their reasoning behind the 2 different categories they chose and kind of guide them as needed. Now, naturally, with any activity or thing that you're teaching with your kids, you're going to want to model the families here. And again, there's a spot for them to write an and at once they figure out what the sort is or what the 2
That's when they
different
started
categories
with the
are.
picture.
Tip or idea number 2 when doing word sorts is to actually have them use images instead of words. Now, I love having
way
my
they're
students
only
do this
listening
because
to
it
the
turns it
sounds.
into a phonemic awareness activity instead of a word study activity. And you can realistically do both. I like to have a little differentiation within these word sorts. And here you can see an example of what I'm talking about.
And now, if you look in your last bag, you have some pictures and words. So this is a 2-part sort. You're going to take the picture and match it to the word. Then, once you've matched the picture to the word, then you can sort them into categories. So this is kind of taking both of what she was saying and putting it together. You wouldn't have to do this together at the same time, but it's a good way to help those that can't read the words to identify the picture to help them read the word. And yes, I did ER, and your. Being as that's what we're working on this week. And once they match up the picture, then you can ask them, say, okay, how are these words the same? See if they can identify it. If they can't, then okay, I want you to look for all the ER words, the So you can scale it however your class needs.
This is bird.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going chick, duck.
Duck. Wow.
Thank you. You're welcome. And then you could ask them, of course, to look for the IR and the UR words. And this would also make a good center activity. Okay. All right, so you have that. Let me go. Now, I want you to watch this video. This is in a small group setting, but she kind of combined all the components that we've been talking about, getting them to hear the sounds, and then getting them to sort the words. So I want you to watch this real quick. We may not watch the whole thing.
Why did you press? What kind of sounds do I hear?
She's getting sounds.
What do you think I would see at the beginning of
And then a visual. What would you expect to see?
What do you think I was thinking in the test?
Yeah.
Got it.
you got the beginning sound, the onset rhyme, the sounds in the word.
What's the sound? Walk, eat, the three sounds. What's the sound I hear in the middle of the E? Do they know? I hear that long E. What letters do you think stand for that?
So she's
sound?
getting all the components there. That's why I like this video.
Letters do you think stand for that sound? E up there. And the last one is.
We're gonna stop right there, because I do want to show you what's last. But I am gonna share this with you, so if you wanna watch, that's more, because she was really good in the way she used all the components.
Hey everyone, in today's video, we are going to talk about, you are doing.
I have to go through each video. Okay, so that's some of the choices. She said have an open-ended sort, use images, and then oddball. Once they're able to do the two, then you add a word that does not belong and see if they can sort it out. Okay, and we just tried. Y'all did a very good job. And here is a game, of course, that you can go on and create. You put in the words you want to use, and it puts it in there, and it shakes it up, and the words come spiraling out, and they have to choose the correct word and put it in the correct category. That would be really good for your spelling, to put in the different words each week to go with the spelling principle. But I thought that was really cool. Okay, students must be explicitly taught phonological awareness and phonemic awareness. Now think about your students, where they are in reading and writing. Where are your students in relation to this sequencing? Word level, syllable level, onset rhyme, or phonemic awareness level? Because all of these activities will apply to each of those levels. And last, would your class benefit from a sound wall? This is kind of what it would look like. We've got the consonants and the different types. And they even have a picture to go with it with the word. And then the vowel valley. I mean, that's what we need right there, we know, because we got to work on our vowels. But that's a good illustration. Here's the research behind the sound walls. It is a science of reading activity, explicitly teaching phonemes. They're highly effective for struggling readers and make more sense than word walls. For more information on sound walls, you can go to any of these websites. But this one right here has a free kit with the cards in color. If you would want to set it up. Any questions? I know I gave you a lot today. I hope you can go back and use some of this in your classroom. The sound boxes, the onset rhyme, and the word sort. And if you are interested in the sound one, let me know.